revenue neutral carbon fee and dividend program. And there are representatives here tonight of that group that wish to speak to you, present to you that great program.
So, before, if the city passes this, what does it require of us?
So the first item is the actual resolution of support, saying that you would support that initiative, however it pans out as it goes through the approval process. Second is a letter written by you as mayor urging support by other cities and towns and other governmental organizations.
Are there any financial or legal requirements of us outside of just letters?
I'll answer the financial part and let Adam answer the legal part, but I don't see anything present before you that would bind you to financial obligations.
Okay, so let me have the representatives of the CCL. Richard, are you going to be first? Or
no.
Who's first? Bill? No. Come on up.
My name is Bill Anelli. I teach philosophy at Modesto Junior College and Environmental Ethics. I live in Modesto, California on Magnolia Street. Thank you, board members, for considering for approval this symbolic resolution that calls on Representative Jeff Denham to support at the federal level a revenue-neutral carbon fee and dividend. And a big thanks to all of you for meeting with us and asking us some very tough questions over the past few months. We know that climate change is a contentious topic, and thus we applaud your courage and commitment to environmental stewardship, a strong and future agricultural economy, to respiratory health, to a strong, in considering for approval this resolution written by a Modesto chapter of the national grassroots organization, Citizens Climate Lobby. If I may pause and ask the Citizens Climate Lobby members to stand if they're here. And also supporters of this resolution to stand. Thank you. The first few speakers before you, about 4 or 5, will speak to a PowerPoint-style slide handout, which you should have in front of you and was available as you entered. The revenue-neutral carbon fee and dividend, what is it? Why does it have the support of so many across the political divide, including both conservatives and liberals? And let me pause for a minute to state what most of us know, that the science on climate change has been polarized in this country. Republicans are more likely to be distrustful of the science and Democrats supportive. Science should be decided by scientists and public policy by the people. Although we're still polarized, this is changing, and that kind of polarization is ending. I'm fully aware of this distrust, and thus I was really excited when I heard about Citizens Climate Lobby, because it's an organization that actively includes both conservatives and liberals. It is aggressively nonpartisan. Without both sides of the aisle, national legislation is nearly impossible to achieve. Hence, here locally, we're asking our local representative to Congress, Jeff Denham, to support this. The CCL has 12,000 volunteers and 310 active chapters. It has as its board members George Schultz Institute at Stanford, James Hansen, leading climate scientist at NASA, Bob Inglis, the former Republican of South Carolina, Catherine Hayhoe, a well-known evangelical and climate scientist, and Rear Admiral David Tidley. Let me say a couple things quickly about what the resolution does. It assesses a steadily increasing fee on carbon, on fossil fuels at the point of extraction. It assesses that fee in a steadily rising manner that is predictable in business like that. The fee is rebated immediately to every American household in the form of a direct deposit check. So the fee is assessed slowly, and then the government immediately rebates that fee. At what cost? For every $100 of fee collected, half a penny, half a cent is used to pay for that processing, to return it back to the taxpayer. So think of it like basketball. The government catches the ball, which is the fee, and throws it right back to the American consumer in the form of a direct deposit to every American household. Now, what happens then? Basically, what this means is that anything that is based on fossil fuel energy in terms of commodities will go up in price based on the fee, because oil companies, for example, will pass on that fee to commodities. So those prices will go up. But 2/3 of American households, what they receive in that rebate is going to be more than enough to cover that increase. What about renewables? Solar, wind, nuclear, hydro? There's no fee on that. And that means that compared to fossil fuel-based commodities, renewable commodities are relatively cheaper than they would be if there was no fee. And consumers do fine because the rebates, maxing at $300 a month, will outpace the fee. Finally, what about foreign competition? We put our businesses at disadvantage? No, we don't. We assess a fee on countries as if they had this too. And if they don't, if they do implement it, then we don't have a fee on them. So thank you very much, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Bill.
Council members and ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today and for your civic participation. My name is Jody Straight, and do I need to press this? No, okay. So I'm a student at Modesto Junior College and currently studying environmental sciences. Now, on the handout, the slide 4, I do just want to highlight that this is a symbolic endorsement, not an enactment. And regarding the science of climate change, as it is a contentious issue, especially in this area, I do just want to say that for scientists, the debate is over. So 97% of climate scientists do concur that climate change is an issue that we are the primary driver of current rapid climate change. And it's not just climate scientists, there are also professional science organizations that have issued statements that humans are the primary causers, such as NASA, the American Association for the Advancement of Sciences, and also, in addition to 97% of climate scientists and organizations like NASA, and even the Department of Defense, which has been saying that climate change is a national security threat for years. We also have on slides 6 and 7 of the handout every scientific body of international standing in the world accepts that climate change is an issue that we are the primary drivers. So I ask that in voting and that the public in considering this issue, that we all consider that and take it seriously. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Who's next of your group? Richard?
Hello, Richard Anderson, 916 Melinda Lane. I want to say that I got my PhD in 1970 from UCSB, and I've been very interested in watching biology since then, geology, and anthropology, oceanography, all those things that are so important in understanding how our world works. We're in the midst of an incredible discovery that is illustrated on slide 8 by the Antarctic ice core record. This record interprets the carbon dioxide trapped there and evaluates how much there is. And also, using oxygen isotope analysis, they figure out how much temperature was going on when that happened. And these ice cores at Vostok and also Domsey and others are critical in understanding the history of the world for the last 400,000 years. And it's clear that carbon dioxide and temperature are linked. They are very much going up and down at the same time. If you ask Bill Lukey, the astronomer, we're supposed to be going into a cooling phase of the Milankovitch cycles. And why, when you look at this, I really want Brent to have this. Sure, color one. Okay, we're right there. And so this shows that right now we're in an incredibly long interglacial. That's what that red line there at the right side is showing. And we're supposed to be going down in temperature because of the Milankovitch cycles that I'd be happy to tell you about in detail anytime you want to talk. But we should be cooling, and we're not. Actually, if we turn the page, we see that 13 out of the 14 hottest days of the hottest years of Earth temperature have been since 2000. This is a very hot time. And you probably all saw that 2015 has definitely been said by NASA to be the hottest year yet. And there are myths about this. The fact of some of these myths are that humans are causing it, and there's lots of science behind everything I'm going to claim. This is the IPCC handbook of all of the 2013 data, and it's good reading. If any of you have some extra time, I'll loan it to you.
Thank you for reading.
I've spent a lot of time with this myself. On slide 9 here, communication between climate scientists shows that they're bogus. Well, the Climate Gate turned out to be a big blow-up about very little. There have been congressional investigations that cleared all of it, and scientific investigations. There was some nastiness there, yeah, but scientists can be nasty too, but there was nothing illegal or unscientific going on. On slide 10, there are claims that, well, we need to get more carbon dioxide because, after all, more CO2 means more agricultural productivity. There are studies that, did I leave that? That I could have brought with me, from Harvard that show that, yes, in some cases we get more mass, but the content of the protein, iron, and zinc are actually lower, and so it's a very complex thing. The plants that we depend on have evolved very slowly through natural selection, artificial selection, and the constant environment that they have, and that's changing really fast. Let's go to 11. Now, all that I was talking about, if you want to see the scientific papers that these things refer to, go to that site. Now, on the NASA site, some more about global temperature. It's clear to them. So I'm done. Are you ready to pick up a little bit on NASA then? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry to be so verbose.
You're good.
But there's a lot to cover.
Indeed, there is a lot to cover. So where Richard left off, I'm going to talk about, just briefly, NASA's evidence that global temperatures are rising, and this causes oceans to warm and sea levels to rise, and also ocean acidification. Thank you so much for having us. My name is Alexander Golikov. I study English and philosophy at Modesto Junior College. With the carbon fee and dividend, we are talking about national legislation, but I want to talk about what this means for our area. As we all know, our economy is driven by agriculture, and I know there are many farmers in this room. Climate models and observed trends show a number of harmful effects to our economy due to climate change, including diminishing snowpack, exacerbated drought, increased numbers of invasive insects, more heat waves, and less chill hours for agriculture. The most destructive effects of climate change in our area, no doubt, are connected to water availability. The Sierra Nevada is California's frozen reservoir, if you will, allowing snow to gradually melt and sustain our water supply throughout the year. Higher temperatures from unabated climate change will melt the snowpack during spring months, leaving remaining months dry. And if you would like to follow along, I am on slide 13 and 14 currently. Without our natural frozen reservoir in the future, we will need to build our own water holding facilities, which are extremely expensive. Governor Brown's $7.5 billion water bill in 2015 proposes construction at $9 billion for 4 water storage projects. These water storage facilities hold only 400,000 acre-feet, which is a mere 1% of California's total water use. So they are not only extremely expensive, but they are not efficient. And when we have a free reservoir called the Sierra Nevada Snowpack, it seems like we should conserve that and use what is free. So to do that, reducing our CO2 emissions to 350 parts per million by 2050 is our best bet to keep our Sierras sufficiently cold and save future taxpayer dollars. Current projections forecast that the snowpack may decline by 70 to as much as 90% over the next 100 years, threatening California's water supply. So when half of our state's surface water comes from the Sierra Nevada snowpack, you can see just how alarming these numbers are. And to give you a visual of what I'm talking about, please look at slide 16. On the left, you can see a visual of our snowpack in 2010, and on the right, you can see our snowpack in 2090 if we do not address our changing climate. Thank you.
Thank you. Who's next?
Hi, my name is Joseph Surratt. I am a volunteer for Citizens Climate Lobby, as well as a student at Modesto Junior College, where I study physical science and engineering. So what if climate scientists and every professional science organization is wrong? What if, on the off chance that they're all wrong and the science is bogus? Even if climate scientists or climate science were not true, were not reliable, there would still be benefits by implementing the carbon fee and dividend in the areas of public health and growth in the economy. Modesto has the 4th worst air quality in the nation. And a carbon fee and dividend would actually improve respiratory health in Stanislaus County. As you can see on slide 18, asthma prevalence is actually higher by percentage in Stanislaus County as compared to California in the whole. And it's actually been on the rise. According to the American Lung Association, fossil fuel emissions and nitrate particles from motor vehicle exhausts comprise most of the particles that are causing respiratory conditions. As a result of the carbon fee and dividend, 230,000 lives will be saved nationwide over 20 years with the carbon fee and dividend due to reduced mononitrogen oxide and sulfur dioxide emissions. The carbon fee and dividend will, regardless of climate change, is going to have a positive impact on public health. But in addition to that, the 2014 REMI study found that a carbon fee that returns all the revenue to American households will actually grow the economy. As you can see on slide 20, gross regional products is going to increase in most regions of the United States significantly. The Pacific region, which includes California, is right there at the top. It's a little bit hard to see, but that line up there at the top of the graph is actually our region. It includes our region. Now, of course, not everyone is going to experience an increased gross regional product. There is the West-South Central region, which has a lot of GRP in carbon-intensive industries. That region will experience decreased GRP as those industries slow down. But overall, nationally, on a national level, there's going to be a significant net growth in GDP, and also in employment, as you can see on the smaller graph that's in the lower right-hand corner. So just to give you some figures on that, nationally, over the next 20 years, there will be 70 to 90 billion dollars worth of growth in GDP, net growth, and an additional 2.8 million jobs created. So thank you. Just to wrap that up, even if for some reason the science behind it was not legitimate, the carbon fee and dividend will actually have a positive impact in net job growth, increased GDP, and also in health. Thank you.